Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another Cold War Zombies video. And as you guys know, right now we're about a week out from the final DLC map releasing in Cold War, which is called The Forsaken. So this is going to be kind of like a really quick video or questionnaire almost to kind of get an idea to see what people think about the topic. And it's something that I haven't touched on or kind of neglected to touch on or have been kind of avoiding up until this point. Like I tell people, I try not to make videos or talk about stuff that is just quick cash, kind of clickbait. I want to get all the research done, get the clues put together, solve a couple Easter eggs, and then kind of come to a final conclusion. So my question to you, again, this is probably gonna be like maybe a 5 minute uh, video, if anything, just to kind of get an idea. Maybe I'll expand on it down the road in a couple days before the final map comes out, or maybe within that, maybe Treyarch even release some more information for us. But I'm just gonna do a quick recap, and it's gonna kind of touch on some stuff I want to get you guys' opinion about. Is in Firebase Z, we learned that Greg Peck and Kravchenko put Samantha Maxis into the Dark Ether. I think for a couple weeks, couple months, she was in the Dark Ether. We don't know exactly how time works in the Dark Ether. That could have been like years, or I guess not want to say decades, but it could be a lengthy amount of time. So when she came out, well, first of all, we were used by, and that's something that I want to talk about, and it's what the main topic is going to be about, is keep in mind the track record that I've mentioned before of Primus and Ultimus, and probably even the stories altogether, and that's even what Black Ops 2 Transit was about, and what happened in Tag Toten, that certain people use certain people in life to do their work for them, and to do the legwork or figure stuff out for them, and they benefit from it. And that's kind of what Primus and Ultimus did their whole entire zombies, career, I guess I'm going to call it, where they used multiple crews, starting with Call of the Dead. I don't think there was any crews prior to that, but let's say Call of the Dead was the first crew that they used. They did some legwork for them. They did some Easter egg steps while they were inside the behind that door, and then we moved into Black Ops 2, and it was more obvious with Victus, where Primus and Ultimus used them to help them escape from the ether, I believe, not necessarily the moon. We were doing some steps and transit and buried and die rise, and we were used for them throughout the pretty much the whole zombies, again, all the games, and even in Black Ops 4. And finally, in Black Ops 4 with Tag Toten, where ultimately they used Victus, and Victus thought that they were doing it the right thing, or how Primus or Richtofen were their friends, but ultimately they were getting used by Primus and Ultimus to help them destroy the multiverse and help them destroy the summoning key. I'm asking the question is, what do you think about Samantha, or your thoughts on Samantha Maxis doing the same thing of using us or people to do her work for her? Again, in Firebase C, we um, helped her and Ravenoff, or helped Ravenoff save Samantha from the Dark Ether. We did a couple of steps. In Outbreak, there were a couple of Easter eggs. We destroyed the Ethereum crystal missiles, I'm going to call it, because I'm really bad with names. But in the Easter egg step, we helped Samantha, or Requiem helped Samantha, or let's say we're being used by Samantha to do her work for her and to help destroy the missiles. And we don't know yet what the final or the reason was to destroy the missiles. If you guys are kind of picking up hints that I'm trying to put in comparisons, that maybe there's a lot of similarities that you guys are missing, or I'm missing, or I missed in the past. I'm not trying to put the blame on anyone, but what if Samantha is the same thing as Eddie, and is maybe using people around her, and the last part of that's going to be leading up to DLC 4 with Forsaken, where we're now going with Samantha into the Dark Ether, and again, this might be where the title makes sense. Is maybe the director was right. Maybe we shouldn't trust Sam. Maybe we should have learned more about Sam. Maybe Sam isn't ready um, to go into the Dark Ether. She's going to go on a mission, I believe, to maybe save Zykov. I don't know if she's exactly 100% going with us, but I believe that she is going with us to the Dark Ether to save Zykov. I think the director said that she's ready for Operation Domino. I think that's what this is called. So we're going to go to Ukraine, and we're going to go to the facility, and we're going to help break out Zykov from the Dark Ether. But we don't know too much about Sam at this point. I don't think I don't think anybody really knows much about Sam. Again, we kind of just started in Berlin. It probably hasn't even been like a year or so, and then so the question is, we don't know, or should we trust Samantha going into DLC 4 with the Forsaken? What are your thoughts? You think Samantha is trustworthy, or you think she's using us like Primus and Richtofen did in the past, where she once again, you know, are getting people's help or using people to do her work for her? Again, maybe she can't break out Zykov by herself, so she's going to use Requiem and some of the crews um, to do her work for her. So again, this is mainly about Samantha, and again, we know that she went to the Dark Ether. We know that we've been helping her, but is she somebody that we probably should have been helping or not been helping, or should we be more careful before we help her because we don't know too much about her? Anyways, I'll leave it at that. If any of that makes sense, or if it does, just say, give me your thoughts on Sam, your overall thoughts on Sam in Cold War. Not necessarily Sam from the previous games, but Sam in Cold War. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks.